love nostalgia. That's why when we hear that glass breaks, all of a sudden your brain is flooded with memories. You're 6 years old again. Recently too, as I am recording this video, we have seen the legend known as Sting retire, and that was so well done, and it made such good use of his character. Well, I thought we should dive into this pot and try and figure it out for other people too. Because there are some huge WWE Hall of Famers that could also be utilized like this. So sit down, get your tush comfy, let's go through them. Number 8, Trish Stratus. So I think that Trish Stratus still has a bunch of momentum behind her, because the last time she did return to WWE, she was flipping good. Trish herself has said that cage match she had with Becky Lynch was one of her favourite matches ever. I don't think she's lost that much of a step. In fact, I'd say she hasn't lost a step at all. Now this actually all ties in too when we go back to the end of that feud, because of course Stratus was hanging out with Zoe Stark, and while Zoe sort of did turn on Trish, we didn't do anything with it. However, it still exists within the WWE universe, so I would bring Trish Stratus back, I would pair her with Zoe Stark, and let those two get at it, and I would use all of Stratus' star power to turn Zoe into a star of her own. As much as I do like Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark as a tag team, and they probably get the title soon for a short run, after that, you just know that WWE isn't going to have any ideas, and if you do treat Stark right, I think she could get to the tippity top. I'd love for this to be a WrestleMania moment too, but I don't think there's enough time left. But either way, WWE loves SummerSlam right now. You could do it there, as long as the main takeaway is Trish Stratus, legend, endorses Zoe Stark. I mean, you can even tie it into the Trish Mickie James stuff from all the way back at WrestleMania 22 if you wanted. That was also a passing of the torch moment. Do it again. Number 7, Sheamus. So this may sound weird, but Sheamus is one of those legends that we are not going to appreciate until he's gone for good. I mean, in his own words, he just has banger after banger after banger. He's a damn fine pro wrestler. I mean, look at these stats. He's a 4-time world champion, a 3-time US champion, a 5-time tag team champion, a Royal Rumble winner, a Money in the Bank winner, and he was victorious in the King of the Ring. It was a damn good run. Of course, you will notice one glaring omission from all of this, and it's something the Irishman has talked about a long old time. He's never held the Intercontinental title, and if he does, he'll finish his story. Oh man, I'm so sick of stories. Now before he did leave, he tried to rectify this by taking on Gunther, but he lost. Whoops. So once again, if you could find the time, Sheamus could absolutely be a contender to come back, and hey, you can do a 3-match program for all I care, as long as it ends with the Sheamus man with the belt. Who the flop is the Sheamus man? Number 6, Kurt Angle. So let's make one thing very, very clear before we get into this. No, I do not think Kurt Angle should ever wrestle ever again. I mean, he has nothing left to prove. He's already one of the best ever. And as he has said in interviews, he just doesn't have the power to go anymore. As we do know though, the Olympic gold medalist has way more to offer than just what he can do in a wrestling ring. So why don't we use those other attributes to help somebody else? Now ideally you would put him with somebody like Chad Gable because they're so similar. You could do worse things than teaming him with Kurt Angle, because once again Kurt would be like, hey man, here's how you take the mick out of yourself, and here's how you have an over-the-top personality. And then, you know, if Gable can pick some of those traits up, well, fingers crossed, maybe he'll start making some headway with this. Number 5, Rey Mysterio. Rey Mysterio did indeed return to SmackDown recently. It was nice. I assume too this is to get knee-deep into a program with Santos Escobar, because this is the guy that injured him, and also said, Rey, I hope doctors amputate your leg. Calm down. As we do have multiple bodies involved as well, we probably will get some gang warfare as the Legado del Fantasma take on the LWO. But if we are doing that, there's another name we can also chuck in there, Bad Bunny. As he can't train as much as Logan Paul, he's far better suited for a match like this. And of course, Rey Mysterio can quarterback the whole thing and do something he keeps telling us he loves doing, give back to the business. I am massively intrigued what he does when he does call the end to his career though. I mean, do we have another match with Dominic? And this time, the condom wins? Can you imagine the heat he will get? He's going to be booed forever. Number 4, Arnold Schwarzenegger. So that came out of nowhere. Stay with me. We do know that WWE and UFC have now come together with Endeavor to create TKO. So let's just call a fact. They are now an entertainment powerhouse. They got connections all over the place. Quite frankly, it's ridiculous. It's why Sylvester Stallone was linked with WrestleMania 40, because of course that's coming from Philadelphia. But if you're gonna go after Stallone, do you know who else you should go after? Arnold Schwarzenegger. I mean, Arnie did appear on SmackDown all those years ago where he punched Triple H right in the face, and back in 2015, he was inducted into the Hall of Fame celebrity wing. It's not like he doesn't know what WWE is. Now, of course, it would be great to save this for a major event, once again, probably SummerSlam. And don't tell me you wouldn't get a bit excited in your Tootsie Toes if the Terminator was going to be a special guest on the Grayson Waller effect. I mean, that Grayson man, he would say some funny shit. I really do feel like this is closer than ever before, given the WWE's new relationships. And look, even if Waller also got punched right in his jaw, hanging out with one of the biggest Hollywood stars ever, well, it's probably going to help your career just a little bit. Number 3, The Undertaker. So once again, we shall jump in there right away. We do not need another Undertaker match. Time has passed us by, and also, he walked away perfectly after that Boneyard match. Done. He is still the premier spooky wookie character though, so if we do have current spooky wookie characters on the books, why the flub isn't the dead man returning to give them the spooky dookie rub? And of course right now the one who stands out more than anybody is Karrion Kross, and quite clearly WWE sees something in this guy because they keep on trying. As of me talking, hasn't clicked yet. So that's why we should go and get The Undertaker, because even when he did like 30 seconds with Bron Breakker on that NXT, everybody lost their minds. So if he can do something bigger with someone like Karrion, well, maybe finally it works. And remember, nobody wants to see Karrion Kross lose to The Undertaker or vice versa, so let's put our creative hats on and try and come up with something that will make people go, oh wow, that's amazing. I mean, it is professional wrestling. You can do whatever you want. The dead man still has all this magic in his fingers, though, and he understands it's important to pass that on. He talks about it all the time. Go and do it. Number 2, DX. This one is hard, because no matter how you want to spin it, Triple H and Shawn Michaels are essentially in charge of WWE. I mean, you've got the game running Raw and SmackDown, and HBK is doing great things in NXT. We have seen them reunite thousands and thousands of times in the past, though, so it's not like this would be too out of left field. And they both understand the deal with this thing. Once again, they're pulling all the strings. It does work nicely though, because as of late, R-Truth has been mistaking DIY for D-Generation X. So why don't you just have a segment where Triple H and Shawn Michaels do walk in, they endorse R-Truth, then you know what we should do? We should make R-Truth the world champion. I'm not joking. Look, I lowered my voice and I put my serious face on. That guy totally deserves it. I will die on that hill. Number 1, Stone Cold Steve Austin. Isn't it amazing how rumors about this guy never go away? I mean, he quite literally turned up at WrestleMania 38, and yet every 12 months we're still going, well, I wonder if Steve Austin will be there. Given The Rock has now gone heel, though, and is tied directly into this main event stuff, you already know what people want. If you're saying Doink the Clown, you're not listening, it would indeed be Steve Austin. The reaction from the crowd would totally justify this too, and look, I would lose my mind as well. I don't think I'd be able to handle those two looking at each other. We talked about it in the intro. How could I control that nostalgic brain? So once again, for me, that glass breaking does funny things to my think box. And as overbooked, as dumb as it would be, do I want this? Yes, I do. Hook it to my veins.